What you're looking at now is a little project I've been developing for the past month. The main goal is to simulate an environment populated by creatures based on my Spotify data. Each monster represents one of my most played songs, and their appearance and behavior is determined by its track data provided by the Spotify API. If you've seen videos similar to these ones, or if you just paid attention in biology class, you'd know that one of the main goals of any species is to reproduce. But of course, I can't make songs reproduce. I don't want to go into the weird details that involves, but I don't have any idea how I would do that. Therefore, I had to think of another goal for these species here. So the focus of this video will be to showcase this whole society of cute monsters and all their horrible war crimes, and show some silly goofy stuff that you can make with boring data. When you're playing God, one of the first things to consider is to give your creatures some form of body. So I'm gonna make them round chunky boys, but they all look the same, so there needs to be some diversity introduced. To do that, we can look at all the different data that the Spotify API offers, such as energy, danceability, loudness, and weird things like that. And here we have a diverse set of monsters. Now I know that you don't care, but I spent way too much time trying to get something that I was happy with, so I'm just gonna briefly mention how I went from these stupid numbers here to this. The color is determined by the energy of a song, so what I do is that I map the energy, which is a value from 0 to 1 to a wavelength in the visible spectrum, and then map that to a hue to get an RGB color. And for the size, it's pretty much the same thing, except that I use both the tempo and the energy. And at the end, everything is controlled by these cute little math functions here, so I can change the appearance of the monsters like this, or like this. And it only took me 2 weeks. I wanted that. The monsters are looking cute, but they have less brain cells than your average anti-vax rally combined. So to fix that, we can give all the monsters some form of random movement. Once that is done, we could use some more boring data to spice up the movement pattern and make them appear more alive. Now you might think that there's an appropriate way of doing this, but honestly, I don't know. I just chose whatever parameters sounded right to me. So in this case, the danceability of a song will determine how fast a monster moves, and the popularity will determine how far a monster can move in one stride. Every creature has a set amount of energy that is determined by the energy, so once a monster runs out of energy, it will need to stop to recharge. The faster a monster moves, the more energy it will consume. And to give them some form of objective for now, I decided to add some food into the simulation. Yeah, I know it's just a yellow cube, but let's call it food. Food will allow the monsters to replenish their energy and allow them to travel longer distances without stopping. Now whenever a monster sees food, it will do all it can to obtain it, just like me for real. I used other parameters to tweak the movement, but that's a bit boring to explain and I don't want this video to get too long, so yeah. As I mentioned before, making them reproduce is not really doable for now, so I'm gonna use the second most popular goal of any species: kill each other in pointless battles. But how are you gonna accomplish this, you ask? Well, one of my friends suggested to use this parameter here called valence, which indicates the musical positiveness conveyed by the track, or some shit like that. Therefore, I'm gonna use this value to determine the memory. The higher the valence of a song, the higher the chances of picking up a gun. Just giving them guns is kinda stupid. They also need a way to resist the Americans with their stupid measurement units. And what's the best way to counter an American? Exactly, a good healthcare system. So in this case, the healthcare system will be represented by the shields. In a similar way, the lower the valence, the higher the chances of picking up a shield. And of course, every monster will have a 100% chance of picking up food. Now they're ready to commit war crimes. Now that was all pretty wacky and fun, but now you might be thinking, where can you try something like that? And oh boy, I got great news for you. You can't, because it's illegal. Yeah, so when I was finishing this project, I realized that it violates the Spotify developer policy, so there's no way for me to release it. It sucks, I know, but it's whatever. This project was very fun to make, but it took a shit ton of time. I spent a lot of time working on things that I didn't even mention in this video, such as procedural shapes, shaders, and quirky little things like that, so if you want to know more about it, then you can always join my Discord server and ask me questions, or join my Patreon, because I might share the code with you. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed me exposing my music taste to the internet, and if you like content like this, don't subscribe. My upload schedule is horrible. Thank you very much.